Cybersecurity breaches erode trust in online platforms, making community members hesitant to engage in digital activities. Social progress hindrance. Inadequate cybersecurity measures can hinder access to essential online services such as education and healthcare. The digital widens is divide as vulnerable populations are excluded from the benefits of technology. Cybercrime, but I doubt, but it's not important. Maybe during the lecture, continue. Cyber insecurity has far-reaching economic implications for community development, affecting trust, economic stability, and social progress. To mitigate these effects, it is response. I wouldn't know if you are able to do that, but if you have to handle the issue of cyber insecurity, you must establish resilience committees. Also, there must be collaboration with law enforcement agencies. Well, this is one place I tell you, just like my friend 3 nights ago, Kennedy was asking me why I was not starting 3 years. In as much I also asked him why he was not sleeping. I told him I was working. I won't believe that who I was working for had nothing to do with the Nigerian Army. It was another security agency, NFIU, trying to trace one or two things. So if we say collaboration with law enforcement, there is interagency collaboration in that field because you cannot do it alone. Because if you start tracing somebody from his telephone, you won't believe where it will end. It might just start from one tweet that the person made, but at the end of the day, you are calling the bank, you are talking to NXI, and it's not well. Then it will support for small businesses. We have to provide resources and objectives for small businesses to enhance their cyber security posture. Then there is this particular one, encourage cyber insurance. I wouldn't know if people are started doing cyber insurance. Because before now, insurance, we did not think there would be anything, but the huge amount of money people lose nowadays from how would I call it? The money that people lose nowadays, I think people should insure a lot of things. By the end of the lecture, you understand what I'm talking about. Then data privacy regulation. We have to
Go to your bank. They microphones are not working. You are the ones that they sent you a malicious code, and you are the one that received it. So it's not you. You are the ones that. The kind of cases we hear, they are unbelievable. Then what? There must be public-private partnership, fostering partnership between local governments, private sectors, and NGOs to strengthen community cyber security. Then, of course, incidents reporting and response. When something happens to you, maybe your phone is missing and you have been hacked, there is a lot of people don't know where to go to, who to report to. Instead, the first things we do is you call your bank that block this account, do this, and you know banks have gone. They are doing very well now. They will immediately tell you their codes. There are these short codes you just do, block all the accounts and everything. That's usually the first thing. But thereafter, you may be thinking that it's your money the person is looking for. That is not where that person is going for. So saying that the first thing to do is block your bank account, because that's what most of us, that's our interest, but that might not be the thing. Then encourage, develop a coordinated response plan. Okay, we have talked about that. Encourage the sharing of threat intelligence among community stakeholders to enhance collective defense. Then infrastructure investment. You have to allocate resources for enhancing community cybersecurity infrastructure so that Wi-Fi networks and threat detection. I was thinking that, I don't know, in Ageneboda, is there any place that we have free Wi-Fi? I doubt. We should start thinking of Wi-Fi for the community, because okay, that one is long story. Let's talk about what we're talking about. Then let's all tell people that we know, let us promote the use of strong passwords. Let us regularly regular software updates, antivirus solutions among residents and businesses. We'll talk about that later. Encourage adoption of multi-factor authentication for online services. I will expatiate on that when I come to your personal, how to handle that. Foster partnership between local government, business, cybersecurity firms to enhance cyber resilience. Develop public-private initiatives and support local cybersecurity projects. The socio-economic impact of cybersecurity on community development is a growing concern. To address these challenges, communities must proactively invest in cybersecurity education, collaboration, regulation, infrastructure, and best practices. By doing so, they can protect their economic interests, preserve social well-being, and ensure sustainable development in an increasingly digital world. Building cyber resilience at the community level is not only a strategic imperative, but also a vital component of overall community development and prosperity. Now let's look at cybercrime and its impact on the community. The internet has become an essential part of our lives. We use it for everything from communication to shopping to banking. However, the internet is also a dangerous place. Cyber attacks are on the rise, and they can have a significant socio-economic impact on communities. To put it in simple terms, cybercrime is any sort of crime that involves a computer and a network. It can be extremely detrimental to someone's finances or security, and may target individuals, businesses, or even mega corporations. Be it malware attack, cyber fraud, or any form of exploitation or extortion, cybercrime is rampant. It's a rampant problem that causes harm on large scale, and it is usually done by hackers or cyber criminals and can be carried out by individuals or organizations that partake in cybercrime. Cybercrime impacts the economy, business, and society with its long-reaching effects. It is in our best interest to combat it to ensure a safer world for all. Well, when it comes to cybercrime, nothing is private, be it our geolocation, meaning where we are now. For our information, just with a software where where we are now, everybody knows where we are. You can pinpoint that this at least not to you in particular, where your telephone is. They can pinpoint that your phone is here. With over 70% of the world's population now accessing the internet, it is easy for hackers to find vulnerable people and attack them. Children and the elderly are often cited as common victims of cybercrime, but they certainly aren't the only groups at risk. Even teens face cybercrime in forms like cyberbullying and solicitation. Cybercrime has a psychological impact on those affected, causing feelings of anxiety, depression, and trauma. There are people that, once you hack them, there are people that don't even go to the bank nowadays. They just carry their monies and say they want to keep at home because your last 10,000 naira you could not find. So there are different things that happen. However, it has been found that even a single successful cybercrime can have far-reaching effects such as financial losses and theft of intellectual property. Collectively, as a society, we lose billions of dollars to cybercrime every year. The global economy lost an estimated $7 trillion to cybercrime in 2022. This represents a significant increase from the $6 trillion lost in 2021, and it is expected to grow to $10.5 trillion by 2025. Michael too is not here. He will have told you people what the kind of cyber attacks they usually have in some of these banks. But the truth is they just keep quiet. Because if you hear that in, let me say, Zenith Bank, they took 30 billion yesterday, a lot of people we rush to go and collect to go and collect their money. So what people do nowadays is they just keep quiet, swallow their losses, but it's a big problem. Well, cybercrime also has a significant impact on businesses of all sides, from small businesses to large enterprises. Not just individuals, but businesses and even governments are vulnerable to cybercrime when not protected properly. As we continue our advances in technology, there are also a lot of advancement in cybercrime. Cyber criminals are continuing to scale up their attacks and take advantage of widespread disorganization caused by COVID-19. As people continue to work from home, hackers can target businesses easily and take advantage of their vulnerability. Well, cybercrime can be broadly classified into 4 categories: financial, identity theft, cyber stalking, and cyberbullying. Financial crime involves stealing financial information such as credit card numbers or bank account details with the intention of using it for personal gain. Identity theft involves stealing personal information such as we don't have social security numbers here, but we have our PINs or our NIN, our passport details, and using it to impersonate the victim or commit fraud. Cyber stalking is the use of the internet to harass or intimidate an individual, while cyberbullying involves the use of social media or other digital platforms to bully or humiliate someone. The impact of cybercrime on the community is far-reaching and can be devastating. Financial cybercrime can result in significant financial losses that can lead to bankruptcy or unemployment. Identity theft can result in ruined credit scores, loss of reputation, and legal battles. Cyber stalking and cyberbullying can lead to mental health issues, social isolation, and even suicide. Moreover, cybercrime is not limited to individual victims. Last year, cybercrimes can cripple businesses. Well, just like we said, what we have in Agenebode, the best might be POS. In Weppa Wanno, minus attacks on individuals, one of the ways cyber insecurity could be manifested is through the point of sale system. They could be a target for cyber attacks and cyber crime because they contain sensitive data such as credit card numbers and customer information. There are a number of things to do to protect the POS from cyber attacks, and they include strong use of passwords, use of strong password, and multi-factor authentication. I am sure most of us know this multi-factor. They will say 2-step authentication. For those of you that use maybe iPhone, There are times you want to do something, they will tell you connect to another device. If you have a MacBook, connect to your MacBook to continue what you are doing, or they will tell you connect to your wristwatch and everything. So these are different factors of authentication. Keep your software up to date. Each time you see things like software update, first wait, look at the comments before you are quick to download, because a malware might have been sent. Always use a firewall. Then for the POS, it is advised that you use a secure payment processor. A secure payment processor will help protect your customer's credit card information from being stolen. It is important to choose a payment processor that is compliant. Also, educate your employees about cyber security. In addition to this, use a physical security system. Keep your POS system in a secure location. Restrict access to your POS system and back up your data regularly. Having said all of those, let me now briefly go to activities of scammers. Well, scammers have taken advantage of the internet and social media to defraud people of their hard-earned money using various tricks. One of the ways fraudsters carry out their scam is through what can be categorized as an employment scam. They clone a website, usually that of a government agency, and ask people to fill in their details, including sensitive ones like bank information that can lead to a compromise. A fee will be requested before the completed form can be submitted. A payment portal will be provided whereby the applicant put back his or her bank account. Two things happen here. The scammer is either targeted at taking the fee or getting your details, which they can use to carry out transactions on your account without your approval. Another method is what is termed card skimming fraud. This doesn't necessarily fall under the online category, but it's worth knowing. In this type of scam, the scammer feeds a skimming design on a real card reader in a POS or ATM, and it is used to steal sensitive personal information. This usually happens when the ATM has been bugged and POS transactions carried. What to do in this case is make sure you know what ATM or POS to use. If you just go wherever and you see an ATM slotting your cards, but it's not too common here, but we have had cases of where someone tells you that he thinks that it was from the ATM they collected their money. Another one is the investment scam, but this one a lot of us are guilty of this. It's just like the MMM. I don't know how somebody will come and tell you that put in 5 naira today and they'll give you 20 naira tomorrow. A lot of people, including some people here, they still do those things. Get rich quick, you will rush, and at the end of the day, it may work for 1 or 2 months, but the 3rd month, those companies will fold up. People will come and tell you that it's our pastor, we are from the same church. This is our imam, is his daughter. Most of the cases that we handle, that we hear about, that we see, they are from these close people that you think you know. They are all, is a pyramid member. Is a pyramid member does not mean he will tell you that I can make 10 naira turn to 50 naira in 2 months. And you go and carry your 10 naira and give to him. Then the next thing you are doing, you are reporting him that it's because he was a pyramid member. You too, you were a criminal. Because it's just not possible. You too, you wanted to be a criminal. That is why those things happen. Well, when approached to invest in such businesses, ask questions, do your background check. Forget about the story of they will tell you that he has a CAC account. It doesn't mean anything. That there is a CAT account attached to it. Or you will say it was guaranteed by XXS. Kennedy told me that the person is his friend. This. At the end of the day, Kennedy will say, I thought he was my friend. The story will always change. They will even go at times and tell you that I went to their website. Forget all of those stories. I went to their website. I will tell you things to do when you are trying to check out people. I went to their website. I saw the website. It's an authentic website. It's functional. People can sit together, design a website, and it will be functional. They are the same people posting information, and you look at it and you fall prey. Well, Hijacking social media accounts to promote Ponzi schemes and other common means fraudsters use in defrauding people online. They hack into the account of someone familiar to you and use it to mention to message you. It's just like we have a group, a pyramid group. Most of our numbers are there. Somebody will use knowing that number because, and nowadays, once you have your number, it will show. And if there is true caller, it will be showing you see the person. Some people already know that Ugabi is in this place. The man is in Edo State House of Assembly, and they will get the number. And maybe another person's number has been used from the same group. Because I'll talk about this WhatsApp group. It's okay, but it's a problem. Because a lot of things that have happened are from WhatsApp groups. Most WhatsApp groups, you see 500 people there. From there, they get their numbers. And if you know what you can do with just somebody's number and his name, it's unbelievable. Well, another method is to create there is something I wanted to also talk about. It's just like looking at this thing is not too clear. This is, immediately, this is the Facebook page of the present Chief of Army Staff. Meanwhile, the present Chief of Army Staff does not have a Facebook page. But if you go to Facebook, as at 3 weeks ago that we started bringing them down, the man had about 340 accounts with different names, and they are using those accounts to defraud people. You will see, I am General Taurid Lagbaja. I have 5 slots for people that want to join the Nigerian Army. No, 50 slots for people that want to join the Nigerian Army. Contact so phone number. And people, gullible people. Some people want to join, they will contact those numbers, and before you know what is happening, they are giving you an account number to pay something. So each time they come to us that they want to join the army is free. No, that you don't buy form, you don't pay anybody any money. But people, a lot of people pay a lot of money, and a lot of fraudulent things happen. Then there's also one that happened. They will tell you that you see on social media that Dangote Cement is offering discounts from mouth-watering discount on cement. We know that cement is about 5,000 now. How will somebody now tell you that Dangote is doing cement for 3,000, and you now want to go and invest in that one? And a lot of people have been scammed that way. Or you will see a website, they have put a custom officers, and they will tell you that this so custom officer they are selling, they are giving cars, auction cars, and a lot of people will go because that's how it will start. Before you know what will happen, they will give you some amount of, they'll say pay so amount for the form, for the auction cars and everything, and you will lose a lot of money. One other one that is of utmost concern is what we call agric fraud. In line with all those money doubling things, they will tell you the new system they use is, I have a plant, we are now growing eggs or rice or whatever. You bring in money so that we can buy more rice, especially now that they are doing palliative. That's the latest one we started from palliatives. Now people have already.
Sir, may we meet you, sir?
Okay, my name is Michael Usila Mautu.
Please tell us about Pyramid Club.
Well, Pyramid Club is a socio-cultural club in our community, Weppa, Wanno, that seeks to promote justice, equity, and socio-economic development within our own community. In the course of this, we have done a lot in terms of scholarship for educational advancement, in terms of security. We've built police barracks and the rest. We'll be able to build a skill acquisition center. We'll be able to empower a lot of our youths to ensure that the community continues to grow.
Sir, what is your expectation for today's deliberations?
Well, this is not the first time we are doing a retreat. I happen to be a past president of this club between 2011 and 2015. So I expect a very big, a high-level discussions that will advance our growth as a club and the ultimate growth of our community. If you look at the caliber of people that are coming to present lectures here today, it tells you that we are a forward-looking club. There's a recent change of administration in the country. So we're always very, very proactive to set an agenda for those who are coming in so that we don't lose out in the scheme of things at the end of the day. So I expect that today discussions that will take place here, we focus on that, most especially with particular reference to our community. So that's what I expect.
He has scammed him, collected his hard-earned money that he has been using. So a lot of things happen. They will ask for your bank verification and those things, and people are always scammed. They will ask you for your OTP. Nobody can call you and say, I've sent, because by the time they hijack your phone, they will send you a message. You will not know and say, we have sent one OTP to your phone. And you actually see a message from an obscure number, that OTP. And if you are gullible, you send, and the rest is history. So having said some of this, how do you enhance your personal security? The first is use strong, unique password. When you are creating passwords, use a mix of letters, both up, lower, and upper, and special characters. Avoid using easily guessable information like birthdays or common words. Use a unique password for each online account. There are people that what they know, their password is Otibagbini 1. Then the other one will be 2. It will be 3. Those things are easily guessable. Do you understand? So just use whatever password. Then enable multi-factor authentication. Then most of the times, keep your software and devices updated. Beware of phishing attempts. Be cautious of unsolicited mails, messages, or calls for personal or financial information. You cannot sit, and I'll show that later. You cannot sit and you say you have just won $10,000 because you saw a +44, a number from UK. Then you now say, nah, London number. You now start. It's a lie. The Londoner is here, or the Londoner is seated in Agenebode. And what have you? Then let's also use secure Wi-Fi connections. You cannot just go to the airport. Everywhere you go to, you just see free Wi-Fi. Just like my brother Tony was asking if this hotel has free Wi-Fi. That is there free Wi-Fi? You just see free Wi-Fi. I'm not saying this hotel is not protected, though, but beware. They say a wolf nine the wrong belly. Beware of all these free Wi-Fi at the airports and what have you, because somebody might have just put a malware somewhere and everything. Even if you have to use free Wi-Fi, if you can, don't do your banking transactions there. You can just use your Wi-Fi to do whatever it is you want to do, browse, do whatever, read newspapers, but you are doing special transactions. If you can, avoid it. Be cautious with social media. Limit your personal information on social media. Because what happens is everybody comes in, and we don't have females here because they are doing this. Everybody wants to, there's a language they use. They find, I don't know, they have one language that they use. So whatever you come, they will snap picture, show your food here. Your father has just bought a brand new Range Rover. That's what I'll talk about kids. They all bought the brand. You are sending all of those information on Instagram unknowingly. But people seeing those things because you are in America today, tomorrow you are a baby girl life. That's what I wanted to say. They all want to live baby girl life. You are in America today, you are, whatever you have. Most of us are adults. No, I don't think anybody will respect me because I drive a Range Rover. I've passed that stage. So why flaunt Range Rover? Flaunt that today you are in so-so hotel, tomorrow you are, no. Keep all of those things, because when you do that and you are active on social media, rest assured that some people are looking at you. And they are trying to get at you, but they have not been able to get at you. Regularly back up your data, because anything can happen. All of these phones that are using can be infected. So always have a backup plan. Then educate yourself. Stay informed with about what is happening on cybersecurity. Don't just sit down that, because what we always do, it can't happen to me, it can't happen to me, it can't happen to me. I'm cautious. Educate yourself. Secure your home network. Then always monitor your accounts. Some people are too rich that they are not even interested in where the last balance. Immediately they see alert, see Zenith Bank. Let me give a typical example. You can see Zenith Bank and they have sent you something. Meanwhile, there are hackers. Zenith Bank, the website is zenithbank.com. But some people like this Weppa Pyramid Club logo, I got it from the internet. Everything is there. They will go create an account with maybe Zenith Bank account. Then when they will do their own zenithbank.com, but their own will now be .ng. The real Zenith Bank is zenithbank.com. But that their even Zenith Bank might be Z-E-N as against I. It will be small letter L. Are you getting what I'm talking about? They are the spelling of their own zenith. But you will not know because you just see Zenith Bank, just see this. You fall into some of those things. So always monitor your accounts and what have you. Then use encrypted messaging apps. Things like Signal, Telegram, WhatsApp. Some of these things have end-to-end. Anybody that knows me, they complain that I don't pick phone. If you want to talk to me, use WhatsApp. But that you are calling me normally, because for your information, a lot of people, your phones are, in quote, bugged. Most people, but you don't know. If you don't know, because there are certain things I want to talk, you cannot say. So, but with something like Telegrams, WhatsApp, we can discuss. But this normal phone, especially if you are a politician, like my friend sitting down there, your phones, a lot of people, and they will scandalize you. Well, always use encrypted messaging apps. Consider purchasing cybersecurity software. Then practice online saving. When you are doing, practice safe online shopping. Definitely, all of us buy tickets and do what you are doing. Always strive for that website. Is it HTTPS? Always look at that thing, and it will also always have one small padlock. Look for all of those padlock, because or else you just go and say online, because people that do, they finish work from beginning, from the website to what have you, and to even payment gateway. They get those things. And you now trace that payment gateway, you will see that with like Money Point, they don't work with NIBSS. This Money Point, they don't work with NIBS. Okay. Me too, I don't become financial person now. they don't work with NIBS, so theirs goes faster. I'm not saying Money Point is good, but they also use things like that you may not be able to trace. You may not be able to trace where. They will say there are some that don't even have bank account. You won't even find it. So avoid those, practice online saving, check for those padlocks. Then dispose of electronic devices securely. When you are getting rid of your old computers, make sure everything, you have removed everything, auto reset it again before you now give it out, or ditto for your phone. Then be wary of phishing emails and unsolicited attachments. If you go to your spam, you will see every day so money. You have won this on your emails. Somebody I don't know, you just see emails and everything. Avoid those things. Then secure your mobile devices. Then quickly, to strengthen, President, you see, I told you that 30 minutes will be too small. But let me continue. Strengthening your offices. I know most of us have businesses and offices here. Well, always have your employee training and awareness. Carry out training and awareness for your employees. One more time, use strong passwords. Regular updates and patch management. Firewalls and intrusion detection systems. Most of this, well, this paper will be available so that you see the details, and if you need to, you see exactly some of the things we are talking about. Then you do firewalls, put a lot of firewalls in your offices. Data encryption, encrypt your data very well. Also carry out regular backups. And access control. Implement principle of less privilege. In your office, not everybody should have access to everything. Those that don't need the information should not have access. But you say, all of us work in this place, so people should have access. You cannot tell who they want to use to hack you. Then there's what we call network segmentation. In your offices, put admin different, operations like that, different departments with different documents. Don't carry all your documents and just put in one folder or one file, because that is easier to hack. Then always create an incident response plan. If this happens, what are we going to do? Discuss all of this with your workers, because whether you like it or not, this is the latest form of getting to someone, not those other ways of you go and break his house and do this. The person doing this can be in Faraway Malaysia or somewhere funny, and you are somewhere here. Then that's the incident response plan. Security audits and assessment. You get management, device management, vendor security. That is, assess the security price of third-party vendors. Always avoid, if you need to do something from Jumia, make sure the website is Jumia website. don't go to third parties that say they have affiliations with Jumia. Most of the time, or you want to buy ticket from Ibom Air, buy from Ibom Air if you can. Waka Now, I'm not saying they are bad, but if you can, buy from, because Waka Now might have some other people that are hacking them. So go to Ibom Air and buy your ticket. Then, mobile device management, physical security, employee onboarding. When an employee is leaving your company, make sure all the rights and privileges you gave him to your system before he drops them, and immediately let him tell you the password that he was using before. He will give you that password. Get your IT personnel to change it to a new one, because we found out that some employees will leave one place and they will still have remote access to whatever they were doing. Then do regular security training, monitor your alerts, and you should be legal compliance, and what I talked about before, cyber security insurance. If you can, insure, I wouldn't know, maybe Oga Wiggle will know about that, but there should be cyber insurance. Before I end my presentation, let me go to reinforcing cyber security for your children. This is very important. The first thing is open communication. Open communication. Establish open and honest communication with your children about online activities, potential risks, and responsible behavior. Encourage them to talk to you if they encounter anything uncomfortable or suspicious online. A lot of kids in those days, I would say in those days, you'll be surprised that a 7-year-old boy now knows more than you think he knows. Why? Because of the internet. In particular, there was a 7-year-old boy that asked me that, "Big Daddy, how does someone get pregnant?" I said, "How does someone get pregnant?" He said, "Yes, how did my mommy give birth to my brother?" I didn't know how to answer that 7-year. What will I tell this young boy now? That how do you, I said, it is God. I started mumbling, it is God that will bring the child. He said, how now? But you say God is in heaven. How now? True life story. 7-year-old, but you say God is, he now said, okay, I'll Google it. Immediately he said that, I knew there was a problem. He said, I'll Google it. Immediately he said, I said, no, don't Google that. Let me tell you, your father. Because I knew that if he Googles it, he will see it. I said, your father, your mommy and your daddy, they are one. In fact, I knew that I didn't do justice to that situation. Yes, that my lecture is full. You go and look. But I'll tell you how to do that. How to undo that. Then, let us ensure that children access age-appropriate contents and apps. There is what they call parental control. If you can, always use, I wouldn't know the category I'm referring to now as children anyway, because I don't know the category I'm referring to as children, but it's a very, very big issue, because you can talk to your 15-year-old child, and the person will challenge you that why will you say I should not do this? Why will you say I should not do this? So I don't know the age I'm talking. Then educate them, teach your children about common online risks like cyberbullying. There are little kids that somebody is bullying them, even young 16, 17-year-old. The person that is chasing that young girl is like my age, 60. And that person is behaving like as if he's 18, 19 and everything. We have a situation where it was a criminal had to go through the daughter, and he said, okay, it's a long process, but he got to a stage of, go to your daddy's place, what is the account number? I told you I was going to buy this for you. Go to where's your daddy's card? He said, the young girl, about 14, has been exposed when brought the daddy. I'm not telling you one of the ways that somebody could even collected daddy's cards and the whatever. And this case I'm talking about, the father lost a lot of money. So encourage them, tell them this. And children, let them not always disclose all their identity. I go to Uriola Jesuit College, I am this. You have put all the information. My dad, and it is our kids that are quick to post everything we do. My daddy is this, my daddy is this. And right now, if we are applying for visas, I'm sure we all know that they conduct your background checks on your social media accounts. So it is not all about you. There's a situation where it is the child that was against this their madness. Let me use that language. Permit me, LGBTE, whatever madness. I'm calling it madness. So if anybody is one of them, yeah, now you sabi. So you know what I mean? So this is their madness. That child, the child is about 20, started against it, posting on social media, this. The father had traveled severally. He now went to apply for visa. They didn't give him. And he started wondering. When the child now applied for visa, in the response thing, they now wrote it there that your auntie, whatever thing is waiting. How did you know? So let us warn our children what they post and what they follow. If you don't agree with what they are doing, just leave them. Just allow them to be performing the magic they think they are doing. Just allow them to do what they are doing. Then, if you can, set screen time limits. If you allow children, if you wake up by 3 a.m., they will be online. They will always be online. But screen time limit, so that maybe after a while the system goes off. I can see that these people are benefiting free of charge of this lecture. But it is well. Then put device security. Use strong passwords, pins, and what have you. Don't be using 4444, 9999. Some people, because they don't want to think too fast, use different numbers as pins. Then always update your software. Then use child-friendly browsers. It's not, because a lot of people don't know, it's not always Google, or what of they. There are proud many like Kidzui, Kidul, Zilladog. Anyway, you see all of them in this thing. Then, then social media safety. Ensure your children understand the risks associated with social media and only use age-appropriate platforms. Send privacies. Safe online gaming too. Monitor online gaming activities as they only interact with friends in real life. Educate them about the importance of not sharing personal information we are getting. Teach them critical thinking. Let your children always ask themselves questions. Why did this person, if this happens, why should this happen? Because nowadays, small children, they interact with you. It is in those days when we are growing up, we couldn't ask our father why. If you tell your small son something now, he will tell you why. He will ask you why. So do that one. Then online friendship. Don't encourage them to accept friends from only people they know. Don't just see somebody and he will just ask you to be your friend and you will agree. Then practice safe email practices, cyberbullying awareness, and digital empathy. Monitor their parental controls and stay informed. Also, there is cyberbullying, stay informed. You as parents will also have to lead by examples, not just talk. You lead by example. Remind children that anything they post online, including photos and comments, can be permanent, and they should know that. Well, remember, cybersecurity for children is an ongoing process that involves both education and supervision. By taking these steps, you can help a safer and more online district. Before I conclude this presentation, one thing I want to tell you people is this. The internet never forgets. The internet never forgets, especially for those of us that want to become politicians. You will say something, you will post something. 20 years later, people will go and bring it and say, the same you said this. So let us always know what we post. In conclusion, cybersecurity is the lack of ability to protect system networks. We've talked about that. Then what are my recommendations? I will recommend that Wanno Pyramid Club should conduct awareness lectures on the implications of cyber insecurity in the community. Wanno Pyramid Club should consider building an ICT lab in the community to enhance youth capabilities in ICT and cyber security. Because all of these things we are talking about, I'm not talking about internet cafe. Let's just think about an ICT lab. That is where the world is going to now. So if we don't have an ICT lab in Agenibode, we are just talking. Most of us, all of us, all the people are in Lagos, Abuja, wherever you go, lab. We still have children in my ego there. They have never touched computer. It is not fair on them. And that's why we are all here. Let us think of getting an ICT lab. If that is all we can do, get ICT lab so that these people can even learn this computer. I remember during, it was this jam, they would say that they have to go to Auchi to go and do, what is that, in post-jam, whatever. Let us try to get an ICT lab. Then finally, yes, the members of Weppa should adhere strictly to the discourse tips to enable them protect themselves and their families. This is the end of my presentation, but I have a small video, 5 minutes, that you will watch. Thank you. Then food for thought. The modern thief can steal more with a computer than with a gun. Tomorrow's terrorists may be able to do more damage with a keyboard than with a bomb. So the time to stem cyber threat is not today, but now. So let me play this video and watch it, and I rest my case. Well, these are the 10.
The 10 is Abuja. The federal capital to Nigeria houses a good number of internet fraudsters, aka Alaye Wire. The city known to be controlled by political money bags, these Alaye Wires are seen as Abuja big boys by virtue of the fact that they are relatives of some big politicians or claim to work in one governmental ministry or the other. All these Odogu use this as a cover for their illegal activities.
Well done, Ras. Well done.
No wonder a large number of Yahoo boys can be found in Owerri. Well, I think you can do better than that. Oh, let's rise to our feet. Rise to our feet. Let's show some love. Thank you so very much. From that short film we have watched, Lagos is #1, followed by Edo State. All right, we just have 10 minutes to take some questions, but a very technical presentation it was supposed to be, but our speaker for today has done justice to it, bringing it down to our level. And it's quite clear that we are all vulnerable, except we do some of the things he has highlighted. And he has also made us to know that this issue of cyber insecurity could also affect our communities. He particularly mentioned the fact of the use of POS within Weppa and Wanno community. In fact, there are several places, several centers for POS in a community where we have they are short of banks. POS has come to rescue, and so we need to do all we can to ensure security in the use of POS. He has given a number of
Yeah, hello.
It's working. It's working.
hello.
Sir, may we meet you, sir?
Okay, my name is Michael Usila Mautu.
Please tell us about Pyramid Club.
Well, Pyramid Club is a sociocultural club in our community, Weppa Wanno, that seeks to promote justice, equity, and socioeconomic development within our own community. In the course of this, we have done a lot in terms of scholarship for educational advancement, in terms of security. We've built police barracks and the rest. We'll be able to build a skill acquisition center. We'll be able to empower a lot of our youths to ensure that the community continues to grow.
Sir, what is your expectation for today's deliberations?
Well, this is not the first time we are doing a retreat. I happen to be a past president of this club between 2011 and 2015. So I expect a very big, a high-level discussions that we advance our growth as a club and the ultimate growth of our community. If you look at the caliber of people that are coming to present lectures here today, it tells you that we are a forward-looking club. You know, there's a recent change of administration in the country. So we're always very, very proactive to set an agenda for those who are coming in so that we don't lose out in the scheme of things at the end of the day. So I expect that today, discussions that will take place here, we focus on.
But I have some concerns. If you want to get the circular now, you are required by the tax authority to submit very sensitive personal information, like your NIN and BPS. How do you protect yourself against such information to be submitted? We are aware that the Lagos State website has been hacked. about 3-4 years ago.
Sir, may we meet you, sir?
Okay, my name is Michael Usila Mautu.
Please tell us about Pyramid Club.
Well, Pyramid Club is a socio-cultural club in our community, Weppa Wanno, that seeks to promote
How can you be able to protect his own card? That's my question.
Thank you. Number 3.
Yeah, thank you, Sarah. I'd like to get that presentation. My question is this. One of the trainings I've attended on cyber we have there are so many committees in place that are supposed to combating even at the point of initiating transaction. That is one. That you are doing an online transaction that is tilted towards can also that is one. These transactions are allowed to complete. The camera will go away with what they call the log account. And now, the owner of the account will get to the bank, and the bank says you are for mine. And remember, this thing we call identity theft. Identity is everywhere online. Your leaving, your identity is there. In all social media, your identity is there. It's not easy. It's just for a tracker to know the people to use everything you have put in social media. We annex them in less than a day. If you look at the Google pattern, my question now is this. If this identity that can be tracked by ISP service providers are not being tracked, and sometimes we also use them for genuine transactions, like the online transaction we do in bank, and we do other them for genuine transactions, like the online transaction we do in bank, and we do other areas. How do we genuinely differentiate which is going for the genuine transaction and which is going for the scammer? At the very point.
I think it's laying on side.
Thank you.
All right, number 4.
Thank you very much.
When I saw the topic, I was expecting a young man who saw this come out. Because we all really believe that IT cases are really handled by young men.
What happened? When I was surprised and amazed that
None of this caliber came out and actually dealt with young people necessity. Mine is not the question, but I just want to add to what you are saying. On his recommendation, even before we stated anything about it, he recommended that Pyramid Club should give awareness to the community on this social insecurity, on this cyber insecurity. It is not far-fetched that the vulnerable people outside the notice that these who actually reach out to are the older ones. You don't actually have this information. Like someone calling, say I'm from the bank,
they text you a number, call you back, the same number the person texted you, ask you to call the number.
Esteemed members and friends and great love and gentlemen of the press, it is with great pleasure and honor that I welcome to the 8th Biennial retreat of our dear Lord, Weppa Wanno President of Biennial, who said that it was after of God. The pyramid retreat came to me in 2008 and was espoused to host diagonally with hosting retreated between the 4 chapters and club. Esteemed members and friends and great love and gentlemen of the press, it is with great pleasure and honor that I welcome
video call if you want to far away so that they can see you. After your video call, other message will come together. The 4 victims of this cyber crime. So we need to really educate our community, mostly those who are in the villages who have access to things. And also those using ATM card that go to banks. I just go there, stay on the queue, and somebody say, give me your ATM card, what's your number, let me know. And before you know, they lost their money, and sometimes they do swap their ATM card and give them the wrong one and they go. So we need to educate.
Esteemed members and friends and great love and gentlemen of the press, it is with great pleasure and honor that I welcome to the 8th Biennial retreat of our dear Lord, Weppa Wanno President of Biennial, who said that it was after of God. The pyramid retreat came to me in 2008 and was espoused to host diagonally with hosting retreated between the 4 chapters and club.
To break into you yourself as a person. They break into you, and you now go to your account and you get the money. How does all this happen? Like the IT people always say, it's not everything you see on social media. It's not everything you see on social media. I know we are all gentlemen, but recently we've had events where people are being made to bring out money because of what they have shared online with some certain persons. Wow. They are meant to bring out money. They are being blackmailed because of what they have shared online. The cyber crime is not just about them getting your code into your account or bringing out money. We also need to be very careful of what we share online. Yes, what we share online. Most of us said no into relationships online. I can tell you that female you are discussing with, that you are seeing, there are 10 people behind, 10 men or 10 young boys behind her that are telling her what to tell them. And you go there and discuss with the female, you share all kinds of things with them, and the next thing you see somebody else will call you and say, we saw your stuff online. You might be surprised that men are doing this, not just the young men. Just recently, we were able to see someone from suicide. A man of 3 children who have done such a thing online. Because he was seeing the girl, but he didn't know that behind that girl were boys who were acting. So he shared pictures, shared videos online, and they were blackmailing him. They blackmailed him to the tune of almost 10 million naira. He knew how to borrow, start paying, but he now opened up and told people this is what he was passing through. And we're able to serve that. So I see cyber crime having information is a very good thing. And I do thank the blog for bringing it as a topic today. Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon. There are wonderful presentations. Wonderful presentation there. I want to commend you for what you just delivered. But a lot of things were going through my mind while you were speaking. I don't want us to run away from the realities of. I don't want us to run away from the realities of the benefits of cybercrime, of cyber insecurity, especially in Edo State. You will agree with me when you look at the underground economy in Edo State. Cybercrime has contributed. I'm coming. I know what I'm going to. I know what I'm going to. Because many have benefited directly or indirectly. Many have been sponsored to universities as a result of cyber crimes. The whole issue of Yahoo. You ask an average young Nigerian girl today, she will tell you that she does not mind getting married to a Yahoo boy. Why? Because of the benefits.
Question, please do your question.
I'll go to my question, sir. I want to ask, from your presentation, do you think there is a significant relationship between morality and economic development? Or we neglect morality and forsake economic development? Thank you.
Because they are using it to harvest your information. For example, I want to know, sir, this is all. So what do you do when you go to those sites and you see those cookies? Are you to ignore them? Because if we ignore, we will not be able to access those sites. And those sites are sites that you need information, vital or critical information from.
Well, let me. Yeah, very, very interesting questions. I'm going to start from the last question. Definitely, when you see some of those books, if you don't click, it will not continue. That is why, at times, another pop-up comes up to show that you're a human being, show us the place, the railway, or the bridge, or what have you. So always beware. If you see a cookie that you are not too sure of, press the X, it will go off. If it comes back again, press that X, then most of the times it will now show you, it will show us that you are somebody doing it. That is how to go about that. Then, morality and economic development. It's a very interesting question. You know where I have a problem, I don't know how to answer that question. because to a large extent, man is not lying. But I'm not going to sit here and say something that is wrong is right. It is wrong, it is wrong. There are some of us seated here. We have used our money to train people that are not our wives to university level. Some have even bought the houses for them. But it is wrong, it is right. It depends on how you are looking at it. It is wrong, it is right. People that are benefiting, but I don't think it is right to ruin somebody, collect, you saw the woman crying in that video. Ruin her, collect all her money, all her pension, what have you, and somebody now tells you, and do this and this and they collect your money. I don't think it is right. But
they are gullible and greedy. That is why I said it. Nobody should come and tell you that you are going to get 4 million when you drop 1 million in 1 month and you agree. You too, you are a little, you have your own for your body. So let's leave that. But I don't think it is immoral. What is wrong is wrong. I don't think anybody should involve in Yahoo. And it is this our normal get rich quick syndrome. You watch that video. That video was intentional, deliberate. Most young people, nobody cares what you do. The whole thing is bring the money. I tell a lot of people, I sit here, I tell a lot of people, I joined the army in 1976. From 1976 till date, I have earned a salary every month. So I am grateful to God and the government of Nigeria for that. But I have seen someone that has asked me, how could you have been in one place for so long? And I'm like, well, to God be the glory. At the end of the day, it paid off. It might not pay off for some people, but this get rich quick. That is why I appreciate people like Prof. Ohahu. When I was with him in Benin, when he told me from Ibadan when he started, I was impressed because that's the same career. We follow a career path and you continue little by little. But these children now, there is no career path. Oh. A small boy, I remembered how we started, nobody today, before we bought car. A little boy of 20-something today, he wants to start with Range Rover. And his parents, all of us that are parents here, you will not ask this boy, where is he getting money from? Nobody will ask you. In our generation, they don't ask kids questions again. A small girl will be using iPhone 15 Plus, that is about 3 million. You parents, you will not ask her. You did not give her money. So let us leave that morality and immorality case. It's a long story. Then the Android phones at home, yeah, it's good to tell our mothers. But I remember when I bought a phone for my mother, I still have that phone till today. She told me that this phone that you are using hand to do like this, that she doesn't understand this kind of phone. No. I should just buy the normal phone that she can that she can use. That you can use that, all this kind of phone. So some of those phones, I'm sure that our parents have those phones at home, and there are children that we can tell them to do software updates and what have you. Then compromise banks. What he said, I talked about it. Before you go to some of these sites, make sure you know the site you are going to. If you want to buy ticket from Ibom Air. You want to buy Ibom Air ticket, buy ticket from there. Make sure there is the HTTPS thing, because when you go to the bank, just like I said, the bank, luckily Michael 2 is here now. I gossip to when you are not here. So because when you go to the bank, there is nothing much that you can do because you are the one that made that mistake. So that is why I said in your offices, there should be cyber awareness always. Don't take it for granted because most of the time, the mistake comes from you. You see one online thing, you are in a hurry, maybe you are somewhere, you just press it and you just press whatever. Or you just see an email. You know that you have nothing to do with London Stock Exchange. You see an email from London Stock Exchange, you are in a hurry to create pounds. So most of us, we are the cause of some of our problems. Then, to handle some of those things, I said in all the presentation, strong passwords, get firewalls, do a lot of those things. I said them, I'll give the president a presentation so that you see in details what is there. Then my brother, Mr. Adidi, for tax clearance. Well, unfortunately, there is nothing much you can do. If the government says you should bring some of those things, even while registering for employment and some kind of thing now, they'll ask for your NIN. You have to give some of those information. You will have to give them those information. There is no way you are going to encrypt your NIN or your picture or your whatever. It is just hoped that the regulatory authorities, and they know that things like this happen, they should put processes in place to make sure those information they are not hacked. But before I drop this mic, know that you cannot be 100% sure that they cannot hack you. It's not, whoever you are, don't be too confident that nobody can reach me, nobody can reach me. There was this group called Anonymous during those periods. You don't even know who they are anonymous. They will come, they do what they call frequency hopping. By the time you are looking for them, when we were looking for some of the people, they are in Malaysia. From Malaysia, the IP address is in Russia. It changes like 1,000 in a second. It's just changing. So It's a very difficult task, but I'm not one of those that will say we pray to God that this will happen. No, we have to work hard and do the things we say we should do. Because according to Fashola, a lot of us in this country, we are too God. We are to do the same thing you are supposed to. Get strong password, get firewalls. Do not open where they say you should not open. Do those right things, and to a large extent, we will be safe. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, General. Thank you so much. I'm so happy that he'll be making that paper available to us. I'm sure the President will post it in the platform for us to access. Before we close this session, respected patron has some comments to make concerning this presentation. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you, George. It's very interesting. Again, congratulations, our General, for taking us through. It's very topical, very interesting, and very contemporary. A lot of issues that are live. So it's not theory. Many of us in different aspects of our lives who can relate to the issues that have been raised here. And also brings to life, again, the things that challenge us for who we are. Now, it's talked about cyber crime. But we also have people who do drug crime, people who do guns crime, people who do robbery crime. What's common is crime. What is criminal is criminal. So it doesn't matter whether it's crime on the internet or it's crime that you are waylaying me on the road, but it's criminal. We cannot pretend to endorse crime because it's creating some temporary gains. I'll give an example. I mean, our brother, Balogu, normal hotel, your Aliele, Baladi Hotel. Yes, I challenged, because this was, I mean, I think myself was there that day. We were chatting. Myself and Godi Selma were coming from Agenebo there. And my car broke down because we bought fuel in the wrong station. So we had to get somebody to tow the car to Baladi's place. And when we got there, the place was very scanty. And I said to him, Ozao, business, there's nobody here. You are running a hospitality business. I don't seem to see anybody. Ozao, this business is sustained by Yahoo Boys and Yoauchi. To the point that the guy there made. But I said to him, how can you build a business of quicksand? Yahoo Boy cannot be a justification for building a business. Because in the short term, when they see somebody near scam, they will bring guests to your place and they patronize you and do things. But that does not remove from the fact that that is not a business that is built for the long term. Built to last is the philosophy that drives businesses that are, no, there's nothing that is new under the sun. So anything that we say or do, if we look back, that's why we read books, so that we can leapfrog experiences of a lot of people, because we will not be lucky to live long enough to individually experience all the things we need to learn from. So if we pick a book by Jim Collins, pick a book by the guy who ran General Motors, you learn a lot just reading the book. And that is the same thing, learning from the experiences of so many people. So talking about cyber crime, I think the question, I decided to make this comment because let's not run away from the fact. Criminality is criminality. It doesn't matter whether it conveys short-term gains or not. And that is the point. And that's where an institution that is as respected as Pyramid Club will be very clear where they stand. What are the values that drive Pyramid Club? Those are the things that are enduring in the DNA of the club. And that's what we throw up, the vision and mission of Pyramid Club, on which we will drive the future of the club. So it doesn't matter that there are small opportunities that people will gain from criminal conduct, and then we endorse them by default. We should never be seen or be associated with such things. And that's a point I think we need to carry on. The enduring values on which this club is built are values that when you die 150 years and you are woken up from your grave, say, I'm happy I had the pyramid label, because it's something you will be proud of, but not behaviors that either in your conscious or subconscious nature, you will condemn. So let's be very clear. Criminality is criminality. It doesn't matter who benefits. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. It's on that note, we'll shortly be closing this session, but I want to say to us that from all that has been said, it will appear that we are all vulnerable. Because there is hardly anybody here who is not having a handset, and you have an account. If there's anything, if you are not going to take any other thing away from this presentation, take this, that the password you are using, it should not be a once and for all password. It should not be a password that will just be forever. You may have to change your password from time to time. Let's do that. We have been discussing socio-economic impact of cyber insecurity on community development. And all of us who are here, we are here because we want to discuss how we can contribute to the development of our communities. If we are impacted negatively by the activities of these scammers, it will have a bearing on the development of our communities. So we try to safeguard ourselves, because anything happening to us here will affect our people. That's my last word on that. And we want to thank again our very own General for the excellent presentation. Thank you so much, sir. Over to you, President.
Thank you very much, Dr. Jojobo. It gladdens my heart to hear that people are able to connect because there are two different things we try to connect: cyber insecurity and community development. It gladdens my heart to see that people are able to connect, because when we dreamt about it, it seemed there's no connection. You know, sometimes when you dream of something, you come up with something, someone may say, are you sure what impact will it have? I'm happy that people are seeing this vision, this dream, that there's a big connection between cyber security and community development, because you have to develop yourself before you're able to develop your community. So thank you very much. So we're going to take the last lecture. We didn't get our second lecturer, so we'll take the last lecture by one of our own. After that lecture, we go for lunch to allow the tea break to digest. It takes, cabaret we digest in 4 hours, but we take it after 2 hours. So we'll take the next lecture by, which is investing in stocks, a strategy for wealth creation and community development, to be taken by our immediate past president. I will call on the moderator, Dr. Sunday Akamioha, PhD, to moderate this session. Thank you. Over to you, Dr. Sunday. Please, sir.
Good afternoon, my patron, my past president, my colleagues. This afternoon we'll be taking a paper from our IPP, Sonny Kanabe, on the topic investing in stocks, a strategy for wealth creation and community development. A lot of us know our IPP. He is a legal luminary who was in the financial sector and an investment professional with over 20 years experience. His experience spans across commercial law, mergers and acquisition, and of course, capital raising. He is the founder and director of Pacific Trust Limited, an investment holding company, and also Pacific Trade Investment Inc., based in Canada. Mr. Kanabe joined Sterling Bank in 1999 and rose to the position of company secretariat, where He was responsible for the activities of the committees of board of directors, shareholders, and regulatory authorities. He was the secretary of several board committees and responsible for the development and implementation of corporate governance principles and the organization of annual general meetings and other statutory meetings. During his 20 years career, he rose to the pinnacle as a lawyer in the banking sector before relocating. Mr. Kanabe holds a degree in law from the University of Calabar and also has a master's degree with specialization in law of secured credit transaction. Mr. Kanabe is an alumni of the University of Lagos, Nigeria, and also has a certificate in research, legal research and writing from the Canadian Center for Professional Legal Education. He is a solicitor and an advocate of the Supreme Court of Nigeria. He has attended several courses, both locally and internationally, and is a member of various bodies, including Nigerian Bar Association, NBA, and International Bar Association, IBA. Of course, we all know that Mr. Kanabe, one of the most gentle presidents that we had in Pyramid Club. Can we please all stand and give him a clap? Let's honor our IPP. That is the only IPP that will drive 50 miles to get you something in Canada. You can be seated, sir. Please.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Distinguished patron. Mr. President, past president and members of the BOT, distinguished members of this great club, and our guests and members of the press. The topic we are going to be discussing, investing in stock, a strategy for wealth creation and community development. The question you should ask me, why this topic? Some time ago, I think it's between the month of June or July, there was a conversation, a discussion in our platform. And unfortunately, I saw it late. You know, sometimes you try to catch up days later, and I followed the conversation. The issue ended up, the conclusion, because it appeared that the people that were not favorably disposed to investing in stock won the day, led by our distinguished senior high chief. Yeah, they had it. And you too, they had a feed and all that. Even when a member, a senior and a diaspora member suggested, he said, why don't we consider how we should key in, how we should encourage our people to also benefit from it? I think it was a conversation around Mr. Otedola and Tony Elumelu, Transcorp. And it was also followed by another conversation regarding First Bank, same Otedola and Otudeco. But the conclusion, what I saw there, was greatly concerned when, and it will be discouraging, especially to our younger members and all that. So when Mr. President mandated me that I have to speak at this retreat, and he asked me to come up with a topic, and I said, no, I have a conversation. We must have that conversation. Let's tell ourselves the truth. That is how we settle for this topic. I'm very much aware that we have members here, people here that are great investors. I can tell you that for free. Yeah. I'm also aware that some of our members are more knowledgeable in this topic than me. They are specialists in it. I'm aware of that. And I also know that so many of our members too, for one reason or the other, don't embrace investment. Yeah. So that is where we are. Now, it's a discussion we are going to be having. It's not, we are going to be discussing with one another. I'm not claiming to be an expert that is coming here to just be teaching you and all that. So, in the first place, what do we think stocks are? And mind you, you can also refer to them as shares, equities, and all that, however you call them. So what do we understand it to be? I need some people to volunteer to tell me. We are going to do this within the time allocated to me, but it's a discussion. I want us to discuss. What do we understand them to be? If anybody wants to volunteer to tell me, there is no... What do we understand them to be, you know?
Like you have already said, stocks are the shares or equity of a going concern that is traded either publicly or privately. They are the shares of a going concern that is traded either privately or publicly. You have quoted companies in the stock exchange where you can buy stock. You also have private companies, they are not quoted, but you can also invest in them by buying shares. That is, you are becoming a part owner of the going concern. By putting your money into it, you become a part owner. Even you are not a manager, but you are a part owner because you have a stake in the going concern.
In addition, you recall the primary market and secondary market. Yes. Primary market, that is public offer. While the secondary market, you buy over the counter. When we make secondary, primary market is public offer, IPO.
Thank you very much. The foundation answered the question. Unit of ownership. When you buy shares or stock, you are a part owner. There's no difference between you and the founder of that company. So, if for whatever reason somebody is or you are discouraged, it's just somebody said, don't be part owner of Zenith Bank PLC. That is a great disservice. Somebody is saying, don't be part owner of Fitsin Healthcare. Somebody is saying, don't be part owner of Nestle. If you buy shares, you are a part owner. You are an owner. And you are going to share in the success story of that company. It's as simple as that. So, this is an overview of what we are just going to be looking at quickly and all that, and all, you know, what are stock. We've already answered that. Overview before investing, classification, benefits, why we do not invest, which is the great thing. We are going to come back. We are going to come there. I just want us to see the other area where we discuss why we are not investing and what to do. So, we have seen this unit of ownership in the company. They are also known as stocks or equities. And I want to draw your attention. Stocks is one of the most liquid assets you can think about. Highly liquid. Within 2-3 days, you have your capital back, you have your money. And people invest in equities mainly because they want to grow wealth. You want to be rich. You want to have money. If somebody say don't invest today in the Nigerian Stock Exchange simply because for one reason or the other, the person is telling you not to build wealth. It's just telling you not to build wealth, not to be rich. Of course, the stock market has been in existence for a very long time, about over 230 years precisely. the market itself, but sale of shares have been in existence forever. But the organized stock market came into being about 230 years ago, New York Stock Exchange. Of course, you heard about people like Warren Buffett. He's the greatest investor ever. He's the greatest. And here is what he told us. And I quote, "If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die." It's as simple as that. That was the motivation, and it should be the motivation for you and me. You must find a way to make money while you sleep. Otherwise, you are going to be working no matter what. Even if you own a private company or so, you have a business, you are working. If you don't find a way, you are sleeping, you are somewhere else, you are here, and you are not so concerned about, how to make money and all that, you will work until you die. You must find a way to make money work for you. That is the idea. You work so much, Monday to Friday. Probably some people Monday to Saturday, you are working. You made that money. You must find a way to invest part of it, so that one day, someday, you can be sleeping, your money will work for you. We all have to retire one day, even if you feel so active and all that. You must find a way to make money work for you. It's as simple as that. So, why are stock offered in the first place? Why are companies even selling their shares? Just for one reason. They need money, long-term capital to expand. They want to grow the business, so they have to sell shares. And that is why usually what he was alluding to, when a company wants to sell their shares for the first time, is through an initial public offering, so an IPO. That is the first time a company is selling their shares. Once those shares are sold, they are listed, so they are now publicly traded. And to make it very easy for everybody, that is why you have the stock exchange. You can easily buy and sell. You can wake up today, you want to buy shares, and you can wake up tomorrow, you want to sell it. Highly liquid. And they are basically, of course, if you are a part owner of a company, you are a shareholder, you have the right to vote, you have the right to dividend, you have the right attached to those shares. And there are three ways you can always make money from shares: through dividend. And we all know that dividend can always be by either cash, but by some companies can give you additional shares. And of course, the second one, which is usually more important depending on the stage of your life, is capital appreciation. The value we appreciate. Yeah. Then there's this third element of it, that there can be stock split and all that. So that is not common, but you can also make money from there. So, however, there are things you must know before you invest. It's very critical. You will always have to know so much about the company. You can't know more than enough. You can always know, because knowledge is power. You must know so much about the company. You should be able to determine whether the company is making money, whether revenues are increasing, sales are increasing and all that. More customer, if it's a financial institution, are they growing their customer base? Are they booking loans and all that? Then you should also have to find out if there are any per share growing, and or if a company is growing any per share, or year-on-year basis, then you know that they are doing well. Of course, as another thing, you may have to find out whether the industry is heavily regulated, and it can work both ways. Yeah. And I must warn you, you must know this, that the stock market will always not go up. It will decline. It's normal. It's natural. That is the way it goes. So stocks do decline. For instance, during the the financial crisis, so the global financial crisis, so for no just cause of those companies, but shares were going down. But the beauty is that you are investing in the business. When you buy shares, a critical thing you must remember is that you are buying into the business. It is important to know that you are buying into the business. It's not just the paper share you are buying. You have to look at the company, whether it's a company you are very, very comfortable with. You have to look at how they are doing and all that. Yeah, of course, you have to follow the stock price. You monitor the economic development. And one of the greatest things you will do to yourself, you have to be very, very patient. Yeah, because investing in stock in any venture for that matter is for a long term. You have to be patient. Yeah, minimum 5 years, but I usually advise 10 years. Don't be in. It's not somewhere you go and put the money you used to pay your child's school fees in another 6 months. No, you are just gambling. No, that is not the way. Just be setting aside money, look the other way, just monitor it once in a while. And it's amazing. People will tell you. But we just have the tendency that we look at the stock market and we begin to criticize. It's not going to lead to anywhere. We are just criticizing people that are creating value. And always know that there's a difference between the boardroom politics, the politics they are playing to get control, and the company and the business itself. Yeah. So look at what the business is doing. Leave the board. If it's that you want to be a part of the boardroom, you should. That is when you start thinking of the 5% shareholding and all that, and the fight between $10 and Otudeco. Here is this quote from Get Smart with Money. Your money will never do better than what your mindset will allow. Why is that? That is why I told you that you must equip yourself. You must know what is going on. You must have information as much as possible, because ultimately you are the determinant of how your money will do. So you are not gambling. If you want to invest your money, you must have that basic knowledge of the company, how well is the company doing and all that. So you must know. Classification of stock investment. I will bore you with this because you already know that there are blue chip companies, growth stock, large cap stock, mid cap stock, penny stocks. So it's just a matter of depending on your market capitalization that will determine this. So it's not something that you should worry so much about. Yeah. Commitment is what transforms a promise into reality. That is what Abraham Lincoln said. And that is one of the key success factors in investing in stock. You have to be committed. It's not something you are going to wake up, you invest some money today, then you just leave it and get discouraged. You have to be committed. Every month, you have to be committed. If you want to be doing it quarterly, you keep adding. You keep adding. You keep adding. You see the way the cup is getting full and all that. Ultimately, the destination is something you will never regret. Nobody has ever and all that investing, except it was gambling technically. Maybe you put money today, then the market is down tomorrow, then you are shouting. No, you are not investing till tomorrow. Long term, remember that. So, these are the benefits of stock investment. You always have to, there is the potential to earn higher return, of course, when you compare that to alternatives. You also have the ability to protect your investment from inflation. The market will always beat inflation, no matter how you look at it, in the long term, anyway. Ability to earn your regular passive income through dividend payment, pride of ownership. You imagine if you are a part owner of a Dangote, of a Zenith Bar, of a Feedsin, of a Nestle. You know what that means to your, Then liquidity, which we discussed earlier. And stock investment also help you with diversification, because that is key. If you diversify your investment portfolio, you are better able to manage your risk, the risk factor, because you've spread your investment all around, and if there's any issue with one sector, you are covered in another sector. So they will always have a way of balancing each other out. Then, of course, you have the ability to start small. little by little you can add. With any amount you can just be trading in shares and all that, buying shares one by one. Benefits to the community, since that is the major reason why we are here. And of course, when you invest, if we encourage ourselves to invest, we encourage our people to invest, the tendency is that we are going to lift a lot of people out of poverty in our community. That is basic. Then as you also make money, create wealth for yourself, we always have to go back to impart our people. You know, we look at that. And it's also an opportunity for us to invest in companies. You will even be very, very proud in investing in companies that are associated with your community. For instance, there's no reason why we cannot be investing in the stocks of Zenith Bank. They've always been useful to us, even as a club, as a community. They've always sponsored our project. And I kept referring to Nestle because they've helped our community in so many ways. Look at the water we are drinking today. They've always been helpful in our children's party. And I also refer to FITSIN. We heard today that they built a lab in our community. And I don't see any reason why we cannot be investing in a FITSIN Healthcare PSC, because it's, aside from the ownership and the people that are on the board that we know that are related to us, the company is also very friendly to our community. So I encourage us to invest in those three entities, and they are doing very well anyway. So that pride of ownership is going to be better served if we invest in such companies. Now, this is just a snapshot of how the market has been doing from the beginning of the year till now. You can all see that. The stock market has been on fire from the beginning of the year till now. But I must warn you, the market is not always going up like that. Yeah, don't believe that this is the way it will always go. It will find a way to go down at a point in time. But the most important thing is that know that if your horizon is 5 years, you know that within the next 5 years, you are going to be successful. When you invest consistently, if you are committed, then you will earn a lot. You will grow your wealth. Now, the main issue for discussion. If you have any question, I believe you can stop me. That is the way I want us to do it. Okay, thank you. Okay, so my critical question is why is it that we don't invest? Except you don't believe in the benefit. Why is it that we don't invest? No, not. Sorry.
Good afternoon, great pyramid members. Why I don't invest that? When I was in a secondary school, an economics textbook by O.A. Lawal stated that when you invest in shares as ordinary shareholders, when the company collapses, you lose all your investments. So from what you are telling us now, majorly you are dwelling on ordinary shareholders. So how do you now allay my fear, I don't know of others, or our fears about this statement I've just said? Thank you.
Hello? Okay, the problem, I used to invest in stock, right? But the problem I have, besides the general investment, because what we have in Nigeria presently is that investors have lost confidence in the stock exchange. Now, the part of the challenge is that I don't want to say corporate governance is weak here, but you see, because when you raise money, you invest in a company, and you see that the company failed. It didn't fail because normally a business can fail. Now, it didn't fail because of extraneous circumstances outside, but it failed because the owners of the company deliberately ran it down, and nothing ever happens to them. they go and start another company.
How would you describe the developmental needs of Weppa?
Unfortunately, I don't have the misconception that clubs like us can do a lot. However, what we can do at just practice the job of developing that is happening still like to government to put it on in the absence of government infrastructure. What we are doing is give palliatives to areas that invest that is we can manage in your small things. But when we have to do that, prosperity, no matter what, the government away from the activity
What's your expectation for today's celebration to this festival?
Fortunately, I'm probably moderating one of them. We hope that at the end of the day, the community will be meeting and different acts of government will be notified of what we have done, where it is necessary. And for us as a club, it doesn't give us a direction of what next to do to be better than what we have done.
Thank you very much, sir. Sir, may we meet you, sir? Sir, can you tell us a brief about Pyramid Club?
Pyramid Club has been there for a while. These are 8 biannual retreats where we come together every 2 years. This club put ourselves together to know how far we have come and to know what is next for us to do. In fact, we gather from all branches nationwide, we centralize this every 2 years to chart the new course.
So, how do you describe the developmental needs of Weppa?
Unfortunately, I do have the misconception that clubs like us can do a lot. However, what we can do are just palliatives. The job of developing the community still lies with the government. In the absence of government infrastructure, what we are doing is give palliatives to areas that we can manage as a club. But while we can do more, we believe that as time goes on, the government will come with their responsibility and do what they are supposed to do.
So, what is your expectation for today's celebration to this festival?
Well, the past are going to present you. Fortunately, I'm probably moderating one of them. We hope that at the end of the day, the community
doing well. And the stocks that are manufacturing essential commodities that you and I cannot do without. Outside this thing, I don't need their fundamentals. I don't need what they are telling the stock exchange. Because I know, for example, Jim Ovia will not see his stock going down, and my own will go down. He will make sure it goes up. The same thing with Dangote. The same thing with Tony Elumelu. The same thing with where Otedola is. So those are my own fundamentals, not all the numbers that they give them at the stock exchange. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, MSC.
I think my own is a comment. I don't know if you have an answer for it. All over the world, when people make public offer and you want people to invest in your company, it is assumed that there are regulators who will enforce corporate governance and compliance and safety of investors' money. Now, I can give you 10 companies that went to Nigerian capital market. The people raised money and shut down. I will go very far. Onguka Interbiz, the man is late now. I don't know whether it's in hell or in heaven. Onguka Interbiz. Oh, yeah, you. He raised money and shut down. Even in banking, all state trust bank went to capital market to raise money, and that company went down. Now, we have good. Somebody say IGI. There are quite a number of them. Now, in all these instances, not one person was arrested. In other crime, those promoters will go to jail. You see that those people are bigger than the law, or our laws are children's decree. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everybody, and thank you, MS. I think I will start from you, because past president or two also helped me to answer Constantine. MSC, you will agree with me that those issues happen when the market was not heavily regulated. The Nigerian stock market, like any other stock exchange in the world, went through a lot of transformation. Those things happen. The transformation that took place in reform were to address issues like that. And not IGI, because IGI was not listed, but the company you mentioned were listed. The market was not heavily regulated, that it was TT problem and all that. People did all that and went away. It cannot happen. The only thing you can't blame the market because we're just evolving and all that. The only thing, because of maybe the Nigeria factor then, that they could have been used as a scapegoat. Elsewhere, if you do those, you will never recover from it. And people will never do that in their lifetime. That's what they did in market. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. So, yeah, the Nigerian stock exchange has gone through a lot of reform and all that. And when those reforms were, it's because the market itself was not very proactive before they adjusted. You agree with me that some time ago, the thing that the CBN did help the market. CBN did that before the stock exchange could adjust because of the dichotomy between the stock exchange and the SEC and all that. Because
to IPP. Just a comment. I do not. That is not what I'm going to be commenting on. I will make my next that depends on a lot of things, like the not, like the country.
Test the mic, 1, 2, 3.
There are exchanges elsewhere. Do you have a global portfolio in Naira, USD, some other currencies as a way of investing? Aside investing in stock, are you doing commodities? Do you have investment in gold, for example? SHC might be interested in investing in real estate and not stock, but then that is investment. So overall, what you to dictate to you. No, that is where the issue is. Yeah. Yeah.
It's no longer about share to invest. We are looking at different portfolios of investors. And for an investor, you must not be a convert of all the options.
Yes.
You can actually differ to some, and the other ones you take them off.
Yeah.
For me as an individual, I'm more interested in investing in commodities like you said, in real estate, and advance to investing in shares because of the so many disadvantages that some of us have experienced. Our major problem for me
There's another
Foreign equities. Yeah. So that is what some smart people are doing, just to balance it, so that you can have a balanced portfolio. Because if you are saying real estate is good, but that is not the, another, because real estate is also good, but we agree that it's more difficult to invest in that than equity. Equity, you can start small, start today, any day, and all that, and be adding to it. Then when you are now so big, you have money, then you can now invest. Of course, if you have so much money, as we say now, you can always have a diverse portfolio, real estate, equity, and all that, and commodities as well. Thank you. I think we can just move. We're almost done, Presido. So we talk about this one, fear of the unknown, fear of losing money, fear of failure, and all that. Of course, some people will always say that it's just for professional. No, it's not. Investing in stock is not for professional. It's for everybody. Education is part of the problem. We all know that, because nobody ever taught us in our university, in our school, how to invest or the need to invest. But it's a major flaw in our educational system. Some people will tell you that they don't have money. If you don't have money and you go the same way, you will really never have enough, because each time in your life you face new challenges. That should not be excuse. Even if you earn, let's say 10,000, who says you cannot invest 1,000 in equity every now and then, and be committed to it? Not knowing where to start. I don't have the time. Some people will say they don't have the time. You don't need to challenge. At your spare time that you are doing social media, you can quickly look through how a company is doing and all that, and then you take a decision. You really don't have to invest it yourself. You have a professional that will do it for you. So, this is what I think we can do, just to address some of those things, what you can do. You have to buy fundamentally strong stock with consistent dividend, just like Uswigo said. He already has a portfolio that he wants to strong stocks. Then you have to plan to hold your stock for at least 5 years, nothing less than that. If you are thinking less than 5 years, no, you are not going to succeed over time. You have to regularly add to your portfolio. Start investing as early as possible. That is not to suggest that you cannot invest anytime. You can invest anytime, but start so that you don't procrastinate. Invest only in companies you believe in. We'll be talking of FITSI. I don't see any reason why. Look at the board of fixing, what they are doing. Look at Nestle. Look at Zenith. Look at Dangote. Look at, you also mentioned another one and all that. These are heavy companies that you can invest in and you believe in their product. Be prepared for stock market decline. Stock market will always decline, so don't do that. But I will urge you to see any time there's a stock market decline, you should know that it's an opportunity to buy. It always presents an opportunity. Yeah. Once it declines, you have money, you buy because you are buying for the long term. And these are companies that are doing well, so it's never going to, yeah. Use a good stockbroking firm and a financial advisor. Yeah, all stockbroking firms are registered. Use a good one. Then you have to be a socially responsible investor. Invest in all those companies that we have relationship with and they are good to our people. Then, I'm going to quote Professor Wale Soyinka here. He said, no one is rich enough to buy yesterday. But if you hustle hard today, tomorrow could be yours. And NR Walker also said, whenever you find yourself doubting how far you can go, because you can always get discouraged when you are investing, just remember how far you have come. Thank you. And on a personal note, I will quote Aisha Yusuf. I know it's a troublemaker. I will not always be right, but I will always say things the way I see them, and I believe in it. So don't think that everything I've said today is 100%. We are all learning and all that. We are encouraging ourselves. Thank you very much.
Let's clap for IPP. Thank you very much, sir. I'm going to take like there were still some people raising their hands that my president, this is one lecture today that is directly to us, that will impact us. So we've taken some questions, and I think we can still take 5 more. I'm sure after this one I have to go chop now. Abi? Thank you. Before I take numbers 1 to 5, I also want to add this. Yes, we agree. I said to my frenemy, that my guy is lucky that I am the one moderating the paper. The capital market is good, no doubt. However, somebody said something about the market not being regulated. In 2007, I cashed out 10 million units of shares from Bank PHB. I sold my shares for 32 naira per share. About 3 years later, government took over the bank and scrapped the shares. What happens to the people who are holding those shares? But okay, I had you in mind because I know you had more than close to $500 million there. I cashed out over 300 million. We were doing the transactions together. And he held on to his own thinking they would go up. In that same year, after I cashed out, I went to UBA and bought 1 million units of share for 53 million naira cash. As of today, the share is doing 17 naira. However, I made, say, another investment that same 2007 for 2.8 million naira. That investment is worth over 400 million naira today in property. While a lot of us may not have those big ticket transactions to do, we should realize that as human beings, we have 2 income, one active and one passive. The capital market is a passive income that you can be taking your active income and you'll be building towards your retirement. A lot of us will also not have the muscle that my Oga has, that he can probably not sell 500 million shares worth and not flinch. Some of us are lucky to get out, but I got burnt in UBA. That's why I left. That is my answer of why I left capital market. Now, for those of us who don't have that much income, I think this lecture is actually for you. You can begin to put 100,000, 10,000, 20,000, and you find that over time, there'll be capital appreciation, even if the dividend is not much. May I also tell you that when they listed Dangote there a while ago as one of the blue chips companies you should invest in, I frowned. I lost all my stock in Dangote salt, and I lost everything in Dangote sugar. Everything, I'm not saying some. I didn't buy onion. And there was the investment and allied assurance. I lost 15 million units in investment and allied, and I'm sure my guy here also lost.
Exactly.
Because I knew we did that transaction together at the same time. So that is that. And before then, I will go to our patron. The capital market is not all that bad. It actually has changed. Why did I sell my share in Bank PHB? I was in the bank. I was a regional director. And all the bank shares were gaining 5% and losing 5%. Bros, I have not seen a capital market that only gain 5% and lose 5%. It's either you are losing 10, or you are losing 20, or you are gaining 50. That is what I know. For me, it was suspicious, and I sold. And I went to my MD and said, bros, thank you for this share. And I took off. But my guy who has been in the capital market for long, I know he did not sell. While I was selling, he was buying. Okay, can you please explain to us what? You see, I wondered, this is an interesting discussion. So I'm not going to personalize a few things. But side talk with the president, he said to me, many of our people don't believe in investment. I hope that's not correct. We believe in investment. No, okay. Because shares is just one asset class in investment. There are several asset classes you can deal with. That's where what John said was important, portfolio management. It is a no-brainer not to do investment. It's completely no-brainer. That's the only way you can build wealth. So I want to believe that all of us in different spheres and at different levels have embraced investments and are doing it in the way that is bespoke to us. That's the only way you can make money. Yes, all the points that have been made are very correct. Country risks in Nigeria are very high. I mean, if you read all the rating agencies on Nigeria, as a country, we are a junk country by rating standards. We are not investment grade by international standards. So you don't actually see any international investor rating a Nigerian sovereign investment instrument as investable. But the plus side of that is that the returns are very, very high. And over time, the experience is that although we are junk, we have never really failed to honor our investments. But because of the volatility up and down, people are not comfortable with that level of volatility. They say, look, we want a bit of a predictable environment where we want to plan. And planning in this type of environment doesn't exist. I mean, if you look at since Tinubu came into government, there's been a lot of flip-flop from even CBN. Today we are getting 3 billion from Afrexim Bank. Oh, it's no longer available. We are talking to other contributors. We are doing this. We are not doing that. That is why the dollar is crossing 1,000 naira to the dollar. But people are saying, are you clowns? Do you know what you are doing? And so you create unnecessary anxiety. And that sort of flushes confidence in whatever you are doing. And that is the environment we manage. But then what do? We say to ourselves, I mean, the way I encourage myself when I talk to my friends who are not here, say, what are you doing there in Nigeria? It's unstable. Why are you investing there? I say, but I live here. For if I consider it good, safe enough for me to live here, Why should my investment migrate to America and I'm here? So my investments are safe in America, but I'm unsafe in Nigeria. But that does not mean you cannot diversify. Yeah? So that's where you can invest in Eurobonds, invest in other sovereign instruments. And you say to yourself, what am I comfortable with? So, because I was asking, why stocks? Stocks is one asset class. There are a lot of pluses on stocks. In the Nigerian environment, to your point, Chief Kennedy, we have a lot of crooks who promote businesses in Nigeria and take them to the stock exchange. To put it very bluntly, crooks. I mean, I know some of them, I can call them by name. They promote businesses, they collect money from people, and because we are in a country where anything goes, they buy off people in the regulatory agencies and nothing happens. So when you are going to invest money, you must do it with your eyes wide open. And to your point, Sonny, with your eyes, because you can lose money big time. And if you do not have the grace, it's more grace, not money, you will die before you know it. Because you can lose money and you start panting. That's what has happened to you. And that's the thing I want to share. You must have the attitude of, I will lose some and I will gain some. But what is important is that make sure in making decisions, you gain more than you lose. Because if you lose more than you gain, you are going to know that Wanno. Because there will be nothing left for you. But if you make your decisions to ensure that you win more than you gain, then you are in the game. So whether you are going to make that portfolio in such a way that you have the right real estate, you have the real stocks, you have the real fixed income, you have the real FX, so that when you shake it out at every point in time, you are still gaining more than you are losing. Fair enough. But do not expect to win everywhere. It will not work. You will die of hypertension. So that's why I said to Sonny, how did we play? Because when Sonny was in Bank PHB, he was in my office. Look, support me. I supported him. And I gave him a draft of 51 million naira. Those shares are sold for 3 million naira. I bought them for 51 million naira between me and him. At 1 naira per share. But it was 17 naira when I bought them from him. But I didn't, you won't kill yourself. I explained it to myself, I didn't bring the money from home. Here's another Dwale. I made the money here. So if I made the money here and I'm losing it here, why should I die because of it? So that's the way I explain it to myself. But you must have the right attitude, otherwise you will die. But make the right portfolio choices. Thank you.
Okay, questions. If you have a question, anybody has any question? Okay, thank you very much. Finally, before I hand over the mic to your attention, please. Your attention, please. Before I hand over the mic to the speaker, my IPP, I want to leave you with this line. Statistics have shown that, because a lot of people will tell you, I don't have money for investment. Statistics have shown that if you earn 250,000 naira a month for a period of 30 years, you would have gathered 90 million naira in 30 years. And if you earn 500,000 naira a month for 30 years, you would have taken in 180 million naira for that period. So there is enough money, plenty money, for you to find a way to be setting aside something for investment. And you can start small. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Just to allude to what he said and what he also says, that I think we should be knowledgeable enough to distinguish between speculating and an investor. What most people were doing when they were losing money, they were simply speculators. Because the investment was not based on the true analysis of the fundamentals of those companies. A company that is strong not simply wake up and is folding up the next day. What happened to the asset if the company was strong? The asset will not have disappeared. But these were companies that, because of fraud and all that, then people were also speculating, hey, we want to buy today, and get tomorrow. Yeah. So investing is different from speculating. So let's draw that line. Let's be careful. If you want to invest, invest. If you want to speculate, you are on your own. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much, our IPP, for that very exciting lecture on. One take-home point is that it is good to invest. You can choose where to invest. All investment portfolios have their risk, just like life. No matter what you do, there are some risks you will carry. Even in real estate, there are some risks too. If you go into agriculture, there are risks. If you go into medicine, there are risks. So no matter what you do in life, there are risks involved. But because of those risks, because of fear of those risks, it should not stop us from investing. So that's our take home for today. We have gone a long way. I'm sure the glucose is low in most of us now. So we'll go for, do I call it lunch? Okay. We call it lunch. Just few announcements. If you parked your car to my right, the car parked to my right, please go and repark. We have so many parking spaces in the compound because we want to use that place for this evening's event. When we come back, we're going to have a short breakout session. We're going to have a short meeting, and we also will have the opportunity of inducting our new members. So let's make the lunch fast so that we can finish the second part of this program as fast as possible. The communicating people are already working. 30 minutes for lunch. Because we must come back and do the other business of the day. Interactive session, meeting, communicate. When you increase your glucose level, you have enough strength for group picture. When we finish, we are still going to have a group picture for the internet. Please go with
Thank you.
development policies. I would also speak to say there's no enough funds. It's like government can't handle a lot of development. I tell you, we used counterpoint to two problems. One, the people execute this contract jobs. The half of government, it's a direct way of empowering contractors who then go ahead to pay their workers, who go ahead to pay for materials they use in executing the contracts. So more development was achieved. On the other hand, government was developed. For instance, putting in chairs, renovation of hospitals, palliative maintenance of the roads, all because we didn't take counterfund funds to UBEC, for instance. It makes available to you a lot of funds that you can deploy in the educational sector. And when you do that, you are able to achieve two things: human capital development and supporting the infrastructure for educational development. The topic of today is actually talking about politics as a very good tool for community development. Now, we all know that when you're talking of politics, it also depends on how you are able to have that personnel impact in government in terms of influence. Do you see having that influence in the government? It's work in progress. We're pushing, not that we're trying to pass the bill. So Ahmed House is on.
I'm the Commissioner for Budget and Planning in Edo State. So we can start. I didn't get that. What's your take-home message? Well, like I said during my address to the House, it's all about development. It's not enough to be done in collaboration with the government. And I believe that that's one way we can bring development to our community. You know, so it's for, like someone suggested, it's steering committee to be set up to articulate all the issues that have been discussed here and see how they can be actualized. Because development is little by little, small by small. You know, if you wait for government to just come and carry out one major project, whereas you could have started from somewhere, and maybe the government eventually meets you at some point to actualize the old dream, you know, then you'll be static. You know, so that's my take home. You know, let's do the little we can do to ensure that overall development comes to the community, both as individuals and as a group, essentially.
Played a part while he was alive in major person. What do you say? The want to make for him to develop that area?
Walk little by little, because Raymond was a colossus. I called him Raymond now because I grew up calling him Uncle Ray, right from the days of Bardock shipping line, you know, and before the AIT and dark communication came out. So pardon that, okay, but that's the small me calling him Uncle Ray, you know, which I even still used to call him even when he became Izoma Weppa Wanno, you know, in private, you know. So we can't, no one person in the entire Weppa Wanno can fill his shoes. So I'm not going to stand there and say this is what I'm going to do. But like you said, we will emulate every little bit of, you know, Izoma Remondo person, you know. He set certain tones. He blazed certain trails. It brought a lot of development and it attracted attention to Weppa Wanno as a community. So, but in the little bit we can do, positions that we are holding right now and probably will hold in future, you know, let's make our impact felt in that community. Man, by the time you do that, you would have as a collective, emulated his own democracy. But as an individual, let's not deceive ourselves. It's not going to happen. It was a gift to us, and they don't come often, and that is the truth. They don't come often.
Sir, one of the challenges that have been noticed in meeting community development is paucity of funds. Now, as Commissioner for Budgets and Planning, what effort or what do you think a state government should do to be able to generate funds to be able to enhance its revenue to meet up with the demands of the communities?
Well, again, like I said, government cannot do it all. Government can never have enough money to doing all these things. That's why I said there should be a collaboration between the government, even you as an individual, or other stakeholders. If you, as a community, start a road project, at least start it. Government can at some point say, okay, well, these people, let's meet them somewhere. They say, okay, we'll finish it for you. But if it remains a bush forever, it might most likely remain a bush forever. But then even people who come from those communities, when they find themselves in certain positions, elevated positions, they should bring the little that they can to bear. I think the keynote speaker already alluded to that. Such that when you leave that office, people will ask, when you were there, what did you do? It is people of influence, people in position that attract development to their communities, and that is the truth. So the little we can, as best as we can, we will. But you cannot wait for government. Like someone rightly pointed out, if you have a project of 5 million naira to execute in Weppa Wanno, 100 people here can bring that money. All they just need to do is make a contribution of what? 100,000 naira each, right? So me as an individual, 100,000 naira contribution may not be so much. I might not feel it so much. But to expect me to bring 5 million naira from my pocket for a particular project, that's asking for a whole lot. So there has to be a collaboration of everybody. And that is the way it should work. And that is what I, again, too, stressed, during my short address to the House. And that's what I always keep advocating.
Thank you, sir.